Hello everyone, it's Jamal Thomas. Welcome to the Progressive Soapbox. So this story, I saw this and I wanted to do it just to make sure there are no misunderstandings in it. Because I saw it was like, people are going to get the wrong impression. Sanders gave $100,000 to the DNC in May report. Whoa, gave $100,000. When you dig into the story though, ultimately, he was given the money for the DNC tour with Tom Perez. It was a reimbursement to the party. Don't get me wrong, that still sounds a little weird. It's like, why are you giving the party money for jumping around the country with Tom Perez? Now, it said to help. Now, I didn't necessarily know how to interpret that help in the way the author wrote this. Wait a minute, my computer's lagging. Yeah, so Bernie Sanders moved $100,000 to the DNC to help reimburse the party for the cost of his 9-state tour with DNC chair Tom Perez. Okay. I have to be honest. I don't like seeing that article, though. If I'm being really honest, I hate seeing that article because it feels like Bernie Sanders is giving you $100,000. What about the rest of the money that we gave Bernie Sanders? You cheated him. Where's our money? And shouldn't we be reimbursed also for the money that we put out for a fraudulent campaign? Now, Beck is trying to take the party to court and has taken the party to court. And in taking the party to court, has revealed some amazing things. That the party can lie whenever the party wants to lie. And that it amounts at most to a political promise. And certainly not something that could be challenged in court. Well, it might not be able to be challenged in court, but it damn sure could be challenged in the court of public opinion. I hear something like that and I think, I don't trust that party. The party can say whatever the hell that party wants. She said it herself in court. We can lie when we want to lie. That's what I heard. That's what that statement means. We can lie when we want to lie. But you understand that's fraud. You understand that's fraud. Yes, you can lie when you want to lie to yourselves. But if you tell me we're running a fair contest, it's a fair contest. You give your money, they give their money, the person who wins, wins it. It's a fair contest. If you tell me that and you tilt the playing field, I sent my money thinking I was going to get a fair contest. Even if my guy was an underdog, at the very least, it's a fair contest under the guidelines, in which case that guy's an underdog. It's fair. This election wasn't fair. And you took millions of dollars from people. Shouldn't those people also get a reimbursement? Bernie Sanders. Shouldn't those people get a reimbursement? I'm making this point that Sanders doesn't like to call out the fact that there was cheating. Meaning the people who sent him money, Sanders is essentially giving those people a middle finger. Yes, I was cheated. No, I'm not going to say anything about it. Which means I don't want you to get your money back. That's somewhat of a problem. I got to be honest. That burns. Like, that part burns. I like the guy. I honestly like the guy. But that is something that happened in the campaign that it's unforgivable to me. It just burns. It's this thing of, we sent you money, we sent you cash, we wanted you to be our voice. You are the avatar of our political will, of our hopes, of our dreams, in essence, of what this country could be. That's what you were. You put your sword down. And you pretend that the guy who stabbed you in the back wasn't stabbing you in the back. And as you fell over limp and eventually put up on a stick supporting the Democratic Party, the people who were supporting you, those people wept and walked away. When those people found that they were cheated, you can understand that those people feel a particular way and saying, why weren't you calling out the cheating? They stole our money. You may not have looked at it that way, but you've already burned through their money. Don't you think, Bernie Sanders, that the people who are sending you money should get that money paid back in the same way that you yourself are paying the Democratic Party back for something? For the pleasure of hopping across the country with Tom Perez. That's what he's paying for. I'm making the point that the people who supported you, yes, you're paying Tom Perez money, I get it. But the people who supported you, honestly, hard-working Americans, the people who you talk about in your speeches, shouldn't they themselves also get their money back? Was the contest with you fair and honest? That's the question that should be asked of Bernie Sanders. Did you believe that the primaries were fair and honest? That's the question. That's the question. I would love to hear some interviewer ask Bernie Sanders that question. Do you believe that the contest that you ran in the primaries with Hillary Clinton was fair? And if that contest was slanted in any way, particularly with regards to the way the DNC was running it, do you believe that the DNC should give those people their money back because the money was donated to you under false pretense of fairness? That's what I would ask. I've never heard anybody ask Bernie Sanders that. That would be the first question I would ask if Bernie Sanders gave me 2 questions. Because that makes all the difference in the world in regards to how one of the candidates, one of the sheepdogs, is viewing the party that he's sheepdogging people to. The lawsuit. If you're going to answer that question and say, no, it wasn't fair, then by virtue of it not being fair, like, I don't understand these people who hide behind this thing of this politics of, well, I mean, it's politics. It's politics what? You should care about your democracy. It's politics what? It's politics what? You've become so accustomed to people cheating that you think cheating is just fucking awesome. It's not fucking awesome. People donated their money because they wanted a change in this country. That's what they wanted. So I don't think it's crazy or anything else to say we want our money back. There needs to be some punishment for doing something that undercuts our democracy, meaning pay those people their money back. That's the least of what can be done. And if you make that precedent, at the very least, you have this situation where parties can't just lie flagrantly and cheat in their particular primaries. That's the least you can do. That's the least you can do. And that's exactly what this lawsuit seeks to do. Is Bernie Sanders on board with the lawsuit? And if he is not on board with the lawsuit, does Bernie Sanders believe he was being cheated? And if Bernie Sanders believes he was being cheated, and if he was being cheated, and the people were still sending him money, he understands that the money that was sent to him at that point was useless. It was useless. It could have just been burned on the lawn. He had to overcome the cheating. If he couldn't overcome the cheating, that money was useless. But the cheating wasn't done in the open, meaning they didn't say, hey, we're cheating. They were doing it behind the scenes. Now, the point that I'm getting at is if they were doing it in the open, fair enough. People would know. If she said, we're going to cheat this candidate, and people sent their money anyway, fair enough. But certainly you realize that's not what took place. And certainly you realize that it's not just politics to throw people off the voter rolls. It's not just politics to take Nevada in the way it was taken with regards to the delegates. Those things aren't just politics. Closing down 60% of the voting booths. That's not just politics. That's cheating. That's cheating. If you're going to cheat those people, you should get their money back since it wasn't a fair contest. You didn't tell them that you were going to cheat them. You just did it. Am I really supposed to be so jaded that I was supposed to assume that the party is going to cheat me? No. They should pay their people their money back. The sheepdog believed that those people should get their money back. I'm infinitely curious about this one. I'm infinitely curious. We're going to give Tom Perez his money. Okay, that's great. What about us? What about us? I'll leave it at that. All right, guys. If you enjoy the content, feel free to share, rate, subscribe. You can always support the work through